Today we're gonna be making the most amazing prime rib roast for any occasion. Specifically, we've got Easter coming up, so we're gonna walk you through it. So follow me outside and we're gonna go forage for some herbs. We're outside of our production facility here in lovely Las Vegas. So as you can see, a lot of people don't know, but rosemary grows very wild here in Las Vegas. Here are some fresh sprouts. We're gonna trim off the tops of those. We don't need too much. Get some nice sticks here for our next recipe. That should be enough right there. There's food all around us. We just gotta know where to look. For instance, this is a peppercorn tree. Give it a nice little shake. I think we're gonna need a little bit more. That's perfect. Now garlic is a little bit more elusive creature. You gotta really know where to find them. So as you can see, I'm reading the land. This looks like a good spot. We're gonna check this spot out. I was right. Look at all these garlic cloves. You'd be amazed what you can find in nature. You just gotta know where to look. That should do it. And last but not least, we need our thyme. As you can see, we got some nice fresh thyme right here. That should be just enough. Let's get these garlic and herbs rinsed off, ready for preparation. There's nothing like a fresh picked piece of rosemary, thyme, or garlic. Little pro tip for keeping your herbs and veggies nice and fresh is snipping off the end, putting them into a cup with the cut end down, and just adding a little bit of water to cover that new cut. You can keep this in the fridge for weeks instead of days. So for our list of ingredients today, we got our freshly picked garlic, we have our freshly shaken peppercorns, and everybody knows that salt doesn't grow in Las Vegas. So we got Redmond real salt here that we're working with. We're also gonna be using some fresh picked rosemary and some fresh thyme. Okay, so now we're gonna pick the meat. We've got our whole subprimal of ribeye here. Grass-fed and finished, prime grade ribeye. We're gonna be cutting this into about 4-pound sections. I've got a family of 4 and we're big meat eaters. So an easy way to measure that is using your thumb. Or if you've got a tape measure, you can measure off 1.25 inches per pound. So we're gonna go like this and make our mark. This will get about 2.5 prime rib roasts. You wanna make a nice, solid, clean cut. You don't wanna be hacking at it. I always refer to it as dog food when you start chopping away at your steak. And look at that beauty. We're gonna prep up our garlic. I like to always mash it first before I chop. We're just gonna give it all a nice mince. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. There's many different ways to cut garlic. I typically mash it and then I'll mince it, but you can also use a nice paring knife and slice real thin down the garlic and then go to town. There is no wrong method, or if you want to use a garlic press, that's okay too. So next up is our rosemary, and the trick with the rosemary is just to peel all the leaves off. We don't want the stalks on this. We don't want that roughage. My mom always said, oh, it's good roughage. We don't want that here. We just want the nice leaves. So remove the stems and we're good to go. So now it's time for the thyme. So I like to chop the tips off and then I'll remove the leaves from it because sometimes thyme can get really woody and we don't want those roots and stalks in there. We're just looking for the leaves and that should be enough for what we need. So now we're gonna put all those flavors together. I'm gonna need a small bowl. I'm gonna glove up because this is gonna get a little messy. So we've got approximately 50 grams of garlic, 15 grams of rosemary leaves, and 15 grams of thyme. 75 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna be adding approximately 20 grams of salt and then fresh cracked black pepper. And this is kind of to taste, guys, but we like a lot of pepper. We wanna crust this up nicely. So we wanna coat the ribeye for a nice crust and to get all those flavors into all the little pockets of the meat. We're turning it into a nice hearty rub. So as I'm looking at this, I think I might have shorted myself a little bit of the oil, so I'm gonna add about 25 more mils of extra virgin olive oil because I wanna coat that primal completely. And this is cooking, guys. So there is no wrong way or rhyme or reason. It's all to our tastes. So if you need to add a little bit, feel free to do so. So we got our rub all ready. Now it's time to prep the meat. I'm gonna slice our room temperature butter, and I'm just gonna go to town on it, coating it. Just get it into all those muscles there. Don't try this with hard butter, guys. It doesn't work as well. So I'm gonna sneak it in there to all those separations of the muscle. As you can see, we got our nice rib cap there. Oof, I'm claiming that piece right there. So now that we got our whole roast covered in butter, we're ready for the rub. And you're just trying to pack it in there as evenly as possible, rubbing it throughout, top, bottom, all around the sides. We've got our coarse ground salt. So I'm just gonna have just enough. Now it's gonna fall off in some spots, guys, but don't let that discourage you. Though it will drip in the pan and coat it pretty completely on the bottom, I still wanna leave no stone unturned, no ribeye unturned. We love meat and salt in our household. So if you wanted to add some more salt or pepper, now's the time to do it. You can get a nice crust on there, but this is basically oven ready. So now that that primal is fully coated, we're gonna grease our pan. I just done it right in the center, right where the ribeye is gonna sit. Time to transfer. Boom. Like I said, I love butter, so I'm gonna add a little dollop of butter to the top of it as well. And there we are. We're ready to roast. Time for the big reveal, everybody. It's been about an hour, hour and 10 minutes now. Let's go and check the roast. Place this on the cutting board, let it rest. Glove up, because no glove, no love. So now that we let our roast rest, it's time to unveil our masterpiece. Oh, you can hear that crust on there. Amazing. Oh, it's so tender too. Oh, what do you do with all that goodness in the pan? Drizzle it. This is all the butter and cooked fat. Amazing flavor with those crispy little bits. We're ready to enjoy, guys. This looks amazing. Get some of that juice in there. Amazing. All right, so that's it. What do you guys want to see next? Comment down below. Until next time.